Hello, friends, and welcome to the one and only Friday night out. The only Friday night audit. The only happy hour comedy show in hospitality that's neither funny nor happy. It's our personal guarantee. I'm Glenn Hausman. That's Craig Sullivan. These are stumbled comedies. I'm a mess. How are you, Craig?
Hey, you know what? After a day at California Adventure with my grandson, I'm great. He's hurt, but hey, all is in the universe.
That is awesome. I am the opposite, so it's going to be fun to see the yin and the yang with the rested and the crabby over here. The rested and the crabby, that would be a good TV show, don't you think? Good afternoon.
Yeah, I do. Hey, I said that article that the studios are opening up their sound. There are all these new sound stages with no production in LA to creators. So hey, we can go create that show right now.
Let's
gas up G-Force One and come on out.
Yeah, I love it. Let's do it. So set the stage for everybody. This is where I'm at currently right now as we speak. I'm at home. I'm very happy to be home. I'm gonna be home for a month now, off the road. Thank goodness there aren't too many events in July, and I don't have to go to anything. So this is very exciting for me, Craig.
Well, that gives you an opportunity to use the Houseman Smokehouse, Swim Club, Sail Club, dispensary, brewery.
Right now, it's unfortunately it's out of season right now. One thing never out of season. Look who's making an appearance over here.
I might be losing a little bit of speed, but I'm here.
Yeah. All right, Craig. Now we got Suzanne here. Everything is right in the world. I feel a sense of relief and
I'm
calm
ready.
coming up.
Nice. Hey.
Yeah. Suzanne, I'm completely messed up tonight, but one person who's never a mess is our guest tonight, right, Craig?
That's right. No, our guest is just one of the best people out there. Triple D. He's a wrestler. No, he's not. Okay. He's a headhunter. Okay, David Donnelly.
Hey. What's up?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Good. People often ask, what kind of hunting of heads am I doing?
What type?
Not the type that used to be on the Jungle Cruise. Those aren't allowed.
No, none of those.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
Hey, happy Friday to you. Now, we understand that you are drinking coffee tonight, but even though by law we have to do this. All right, so cheers, everybody. I'm going to open up my cocktail over here.
Remember, it's a virgin Irish coffee.
Yeah, it's a virgin Irish coffee. So, how do you like your? We usually ask, what about the drink and stuff like that. So, how do you prepare this virgin Irish coffee?
Put a little bit of Laird's superfood sugar in there and some coffee, a couple shots of espresso over some ice.
Ooh, that
Nice.
sounds
Good
that sounds
stuff.
absolutely lovely. Yeah.
Nice drink to power up yourself. So yeah, good. I like that.
Yeah, because after this, I got to go do yard work. So.
Nice. Well,
That's
you
really
a beautiful day in Southern California to do that.
Triple D. I think that's really funny. You should say that because I'm actually doing this so I don't have to do the work afterwards.
Wait a minute. Yard work. If doing yard work is pulling out your wallet to pay somebody,
Dude.
yard work.
I'm so glad everyone is sitting down for this. I hope you out there are sitting down for what I'm about to tell you. Today, I successfully wielded a chainsaw and still have all of my limbs.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, nice.
That's impressive.
Does your wife know that?
That I have all my limbs?
Or does your
Yeah,
wife still have all her limbs?
Or anything like that yet, but what's that?
I said, more importantly, does your wife have all her limbs?
Well, we'll see what her attitude is when she comes home.
You were wielding the chainsaw. I'm just
Now, what were you trying to,
I don't
wield
have to
the
direct
chainsaw
her,
and cut?
What? Sorry, a little Shining joke there for the one person in the universe who got it. Yeah. What was that, Suzanne?
I asked you what were you actually trying to cut with the chainsaw, and were you successful?
Yes, I have a situation going on right now. I've been busy. Thank you, everyone out there. Combined with laziness of household chores, so between the two of those things, nature started happening all over my driveway, and the trees are getting out of control. I mean, I should have dealt with this. I should have dealt with it like a year or two ago. That kind of thing. So now, now it's getting tough to get the cars in and out of the driveway and stuff like that. Not on a good day, but after a heavy rain and the trees start to go like that, then you're risking some trouble. So
you're telling me after a week of practically being away and being exhausted after hanging out with me, mind you, I'm still here hanging strong.
Yep.
You went home and actually wielded a chainsaw and did something that has been waiting for a year. Like, where did you find the energy for that, Glenn?
Not a good question. And I didn't even get a nap today. But
you didn't get one yesterday either.
It shows a hot mess
yesterday.
Yeah, you must not have an HOA.
Racing is off. What is going on here, guys?
No. Hey, Dave, great to see you.
It's all messed up.
It's all messed up. But Dave, nothing's messed up for you. For those who don't know, Dave is leaving the country tomorrow on a boat. Does it say the letters ICE on the side of it, Dave?
You know what? Based on my current everything going on in the country, it may actually need to.
All right.
For those that are my age, they'll understand this. I don't know how many people are actually watching this show that are around my age, but they'll understand that I'm on a boat. You guys don't know that song, do you?
I know that song. It's from Saturday Night Live, and it's shit. The Lonely Island.
There you go.
Oh wow!
Glenn's still cool. Glenn's still cool.
There's not much that stumps Glenn. He normally gets it.
He is the king of
cool.
My pop culture has fallen off considerably now that pop culture itself has kind of fallen apart.
It's fallen off. Yeah.
Wait a second. This is breaking news. Glenn, all right, guys. Stock tips. Monday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Sell your Delta stock because if Glenn's not traveling,
oh wow,
there's going to be revenue depreciation. They did not build that into their Q3 forecast.
I know.
And you're going to have problems if you are a stockholder like me for Delta.
Yeah.
Especially Bruce Ford's not traveling as well. Between the two of them, they make.
I want to say you're welcome to all the people who are going to be getting my upgrades. So enjoy.
Nice.
That reminds me of that time you sent us the picture of your upgrade spot. Number 64, I think it was.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm having my David. I'm having my diamond year right now with Delta, which I had to buy into when they changed over everything. So I'm getting an inordinate amount of love from them right now. Next year I'll be slogging it with all the other platinums, and I'll be back to number 64 of 87 on the list.
So, question for you frequent travelers.
Yeah.
If Bruce is here, I'd ask him the same. But Craig, you can certainly fit in on this. Is it better to be number 74 or 64 of a upgrade list? Or is it, which is worse, to be like 64 of an upgrade list or to be just outside that bubble where it's like number one standby? That's not
loser. First loser is the worst.
That's the worst. That's why if you are checking your flights the night before and they're offering the upgrades for $200, jump on it. Now, I was very impressed that Dr. Producer Suzanne was traveling, and she posted a picture of her in Southwest Hillbilly First Class. That was
great. So, Craig, actually, I have a question for you about Southwest.
Wait 1 second, Dave.
Here?
I got Craig. What are the chances? The flight tomorrow out of Indianapolis is 5 a.m. What are the odds I'll get my Hillbilly First Class?
Is there a race this weekend?
There was the Pacers game last night.
Oh my God!
Oh, it goes back.
You got another one.
It was here in Indy last night.
Did you do the pre registration so you get into the A group?
No, I got B38 because I didn't get up at 5 this morning.
Yeah,
No chance. No
Yeah,
chance.
B38. You're talking.
I will say I was B25 when I got it last time.
Oh,
yeah, but you're leaving an area that's just had some major events, and you might
I
have.
guess we will soon see.
We will see. We will see.
Tune
I
in
will-
to
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
morning.
yeah, Suzanne, you got it. Tune into next week's show. Find out what's happening on the riveting saga of Suzanne's seat
Well,
situation.
speaking of riveting
Right now,
sagas in Indianapolis,
right now, aisle, middle, window, or hillbilly first class. So let us know what you think. Sorry, Dave. Go on.
And I think everybody who gets into that hillbilly first class seat on Southwest should post it with hashtag Friday Night Audit.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
there you go. Okay.
well, soon the hillbilly first class is going to be a $45
That's right.
premium, and then it's just going to be guaranteed. You're not going to have to fight for it. But Glenn, speaking of significant experiences in Indianapolis,
Yeah,
didn't you have one pretty
I
recently?
did, but I do want to say that I feel like this whole conversation, social mores are going to change. In 15 years from now, we're going to be like, I can't believe you said hillbilly. Oh, it's like, we are so horrible now that we said that. So, future me.
Don't worry, you'll be in the retirement home getting rolled
Edit
around.
it out.
eating
You
your-
can
eating
edit
your
it out.
yogurt.
By then, I'll be so deaf I won't even care. They'll be like, I'll be like, ah.
Pushing you around, going, you made fun of hillbillies, huh? Here, you're going in the pool.
So Triple D. So Dave is trying to tee up over there that while I was in Indianapolis, this massive storm came through. I don't know if you
in
heard.
the elevator.
Yeah. So I got so basically this massive storm came through, and everyone was apparently rushed to the basement over the convention center, and I was meandering up to my room in the elevator. And just as soon as I got in there and it started moving, the whole building like lost power for a second or two, and I got screwed, and I got stuck in there. And the worst part
How
was
long?
45 minutes alone with my
Oh.
thoughts. It was a nightmare being alone with myself.
So basically, it's like being on this show, but instead of everybody else hearing your thoughts, you had to hear your thoughts.
Yeah,
Yes.
but I'd rather
No.
everyone else has the suffer, not me. Oh, that's nice, Suzanne. What are you
No,
looking at? Are you looking at the baseball stadium?
This is where I was when the storm hit. They've now moved the sofa because of me, because I was like, I don't need to move. And it's coming right through. So then I took shelter in the meeting room right across the way. But no, I did not get trapped for 45 minutes in an elevator. But I just put my Florida hat on and said, no big deal. Hold my beer.
So I would like to say, if I think the 911 people let me out, the fire folks. So thanks. I never saw them because I came out on the fourth floor. So as soon as doors open, I just jumped out and I basically tackled the guy trying to go in.
You tackled Don.
Like, no! It was like that slow motion paper towel commercial. No, you know. So
Not only did I get a text where he was, I got you might want to check on Glenn and make sure he's okay. We just saw him come out. He wasn't looking too good.
Let me ask Glenn and Suzanne. This is your first time to Indianapolis. How'd you like it?
You know what? It wasn't bad. I would say Glenn
Ringing endorsement.
No, he was closer. I was further away, so I had a lot more walking to do. But we explored. We were at the Speedway together. Checked that out. We were at Lucas Oil Stadium. I'm headed over. That's why I got to pop out. But I'm headed over to the Indiana State Museum for my cocktail reception. So I'm pre-gaming
cool.
my pre-game for the reception.
Nice.
It's decent in terms of walking. My friends have been doing scooters to get around, and
that's fun.
Yeah, other than rain, and somebody hooked me up with an umbrella finally, so we're good.
Glenn?
That's awesome.
What about you, Glenn?
I think Indianapolis, what I saw, the downtown area was good convention area. Although the hotel that I was at, they could use a few more restaurants and that sort of thing in that general area,
Yeah,
right?
it's worse now.
You had to go farther away on the other side of the convention center. So that wasn't so great. However, there's a lot of places to go. Suzanne found this one restaurant for us to go to called the Fountain Room, which was nice. I had a good steak over there, and I chose to walk from the hotel that I was staying at 1.8 miles. And there's this whole great community down Massachusetts that's a lot cooler and hipper, a lot of young people, and a lot of cool stores and restaurants and bars. And Indianapolis it's got big buildings, but it's more like low 3, 4, 5-story type buildings. It was very walkable. It seemed like there were a lot of people that had that ability to walk, have that nightlife, their food, and and entertainment, all that kind of stuff, and still live there. So I think that there was like real community there. But
and I'll tell you, for a game last night, for Game 6 for the Pacers that was here, coming from Boston, I'm used to a city being like jam-packed, completely crazy. It was not that way at all, and so I don't know if that's good or bad, because I don't know what the crowds were like inside, but the pictures looked like it was packed. But it didn't feel overly congested and what have you. I did find a really great restaurant. Had you stayed with me last night, Glenn, it would have been great. We did the Spoke and Steel, and really great food. And then I went the depth, and I made Glenn come join me, because I kind of miscalculated our reservation time, but we made it to St. Elmo's, the steakhouse. And while waiting with my liquid love affair, I had the famous shrimp cocktail that's made with fresh horseradish sauce that makes you pucker. I left all the extra horseradish on Glenn's last shrimp.
Nice.
And left him one saltine.
I love Indianapolis. I think
it's a great town.
LA, it's a clean city. I love the airport, the freeways. Coming into Indianapolis for the first time and approaching it from the airport, and you see that Lucas Oil Field. That stadium is massive, and you get in there, and then
it feels kind of intimate inside, though. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it definitely gives you a different vibe on the inside. But walking around there and going from restaurant to restaurant and all that, and you can thank Marriott for the Super Bowl that was held there a few years ago. Well, several years ago now. One of the NFL requirements is you have to have a hotel that has 1,000 keys. So Marriott built that JW with, I think it was either a Residence Inn or a Courtyard, dual branded. It was one of the first ones. That's how long ago this was. And it was 1,001 keys. So, it's really interesting there. And the revenues from the oil in that state, you can see, much like Long Beach, California, that has a lot of oil revenue. It goes into their streets, parks, curbs, gutters, sidewalks, and they maintain everything. So my hat's off.
Well, speaking of oil revenue, Craig Sullivan, I just saw some of your refineries are closing, and your gas is about to get to $9 a gallon. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that, it's like the toll road. It's the cost of doing business. That's why whenever I look at economic forecasts, the first thing I take out is gas purchases, because California and Hawaii have the two most expensive states for gas, and it fluctuates. It depends on summer blend, which is bullshit. It also depends on,
it's a delicious tea, though.
Yeah.
cents out of every dollar that we
The
spend.
fall blend is pretty good too.
For state tax. So it's just a bullshit item.
That's why you have to have a hybrid, Dave.
That's why
Yeah.
All right, so
my 2009 170,000 mile gas guzzler Lexus is not.
Hey, Suzanne, you got to go?
I got to go. I got to get my selfie stick. I've got to get my jam on, and it's my last night in Indy. So I'm thrilled that I got to share the time with you guys and have fun. I do see some breaking news that's happening, that it's only 20 minutes in. Like, that's pretty big deal. Don't want to miss it.
We'll fill them in. We know that we loaded the show top. So
All right. Bye, guys.
See you later. Bye, Suzanne.
Enjoy. Speaking of Indianapolis, have you guys spent any time in Detroit?
Tiny little bit.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I want to go. I've never had a reason to. My closest time going to Detroit was in college. I have a buddy from that area who's a Tigers fan. This is back when the Tigers and the Cardinals were in the World Series.
Like 2005 or something.
Yeah, around that time. And he had tickets to Game 7. So if they won, they didn't make right. But if they won Game 6 to force Game 7, we were going to drive overnight from Jersey to Detroit to go see Game 7.
Love that.
Well,
yeah,
don't love it now.
I was at Game 4 in 1984 when they were playing the Padres.
I don't know what 1984 is. Sorry.
Yeah, it's a book. It's a book. You should read it.
Yeah. I was negative 3 at that point.
Right now.
Yeah.
That's all BD before Dave. So
before that, Dave. Yeah.
I bet you guys remember in 1984 when it turned to 1984, making commentary about it being 1984.
Yeah, right.
Like
right.
Everybody.
What was that, Aldous Huxley or something? Is that?
No, George Orwell.
Oh, darn it! What was I thinking?
You were
Black
definitely
Like Me or something like that.
I don't know. We'll have to look that up. Dave will look it up, and he'll give you his complete autobiography of books.
Yeah, funny part about that, actually, Dave was finishing up something else so that Dave can start his vacation. So Dave wasn't looking it up, and now Dave forgot what we were even talking about. So
talking about himself in the third party.
But his brain is snapped now that his vacation is starting. He's disassociated from himself.
Who are you guys? I don't even know. You're not wearing Bermuda shorts. Then I'm not going to be even knowing who you are at this point.
Well, matter of fact, I am.
I'm not wearing any. So,
So,
Dave, where are you cruising to, Dave?
Bermuda.
Oh, Bermuda. Okay, got it. Yeah. Stay out of the triangle.
Yeah, well, you're never going to see me come back. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Stay a lot of Latin. That's what my uncle used to tell me.
As soon as customs goes through your phone, David, you're gonna be. They're not gonna let you back yet.
You know, I love what I love is like certain clothes really work in certain places. Like, you can totally get away with wearing the suit top and the Bermuda shorts, and it's normal, looks great, right? In Hawaii, the Hawaiian shirts, that's just the way it is, but you can't pull that shit off in like New York or something like that, you know?
When you're invited to talk at NYU, Glenn, you should come out in Bermuda shorts with a seersucker jacket, you know? Yeah. White Bermuda shorts, that blue and white seersucker jacket.
The white handkerchief.
Tie and a sand-colored shirt. Then you fuck them all up.
Right.
Yeah. Should I have an I Love Colonialism hat on as well or something?
No, but you should have your Crocs on.
Yeah, I was gonna say Crocs or man sandals. There you go. Man sandals with socks.
There you go. Oh, there you
go.
Knee-high socks. Knee-high socks. Yeah.
You guys are not seeing the bigger picture here, okay?
I'm trying not to see that picture at all.
What Glenn really needs to know, really needs to wear, if he really, really wants to make an impression. And I'm not talking about a quick little simple impression. I'm talking about a stand-out, insane shoe wear impression. He needs to come up in one of these.
Oh, nice.
I've seen that a couple of times. I find it like frightening to look at. It's like it makes me uncomfortable.
Disturbing is the better word, Glad.
Disturbing. That is the word. It's disturbing. Yeah, I feel very uncomfortable and like shaken to my core. Yeah.
That's on the rage here in the gyms here in Southern California.
Is it really? Well, I wouldn't know. I don't go to a gym.
I usually go just to use the restrooms, but
none of us could tell. Craig.
Southern California, we're at the forefront of debauchery. Keep going, guys.
Democracy or
he's trying to say debauchery, but he's on vacation.
Debauchery, yeah.
That's too old a word for the actual to say.
Hey, Kim is saying Bermuda is beautiful. Enjoy, Dave. Yeah, and actually the bus service there is actually pretty good too. Which
I like
is
the
how's the ganja?
what's it called? Oh my God, the ferry service. They have good ferry service there as well. But we're not going to be doing too much off the boat. I've done Bermuda a few times. I'm kind of over Bermuda, but we're going to do a couple of little things near the boat.
Are you leaving? You're leaving from New York, probably,
From Bayonne.
right? From Bayonne. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did a Disney cruise that left out of the west side of Manhattan.
We've done that one too, yeah.
That's freaking awesome. And you're going under the Verrazano Bridge right at the beginning of the cruise.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome. Plus, you don't have to fly, which is
that's
really
the big one right there. You just drive to the port, you park at the port, you walk on the boat, you get off the boat, you drive 20 minutes home. There's nothing worse than having to freaking fly somewhere to get on a cruise, or worse, fly after the cruise. And let me tell you guys, one time we came off a cruise in Florida.
Yeah,
I may or may not have took too much access on my drink package the night before, and thankfully, the flight back was late, so we ended up getting a room to kill time. So I was able to sleep it off, because there's nothing worse than flying hungover.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Cars has a question for us, and he has it for me, really, but I'm going to throw Glenn into this question because he's going to deal with it too. So we've been talking on this show for a long time about how it has done nothing but rain, cold and rain in New York for basically since April.
Yeah.
Syracuse, upstate New York, hasn't had a dry weekend since November of 2024. Not a lie.
Yeah, Dave, I will verify that Dave sent me attributable, confirmation
evidence from reputable news sources.
Hey, Craig, do you know what they're talking about? Rain? What is rain?
That's when water falls from the sky.
Oh,
well, listen, it gets even better. So usually we do this wonderful thing in New Jersey or in New York, where it's really cold, and April wet and cold, and May and June are usually like perfect weather, 60s, 70s, maybe mid 80s. And then we get into July and August where it gets hot. But no, we're doing this wonderful thing this year where it's been rainy and cold for 8 weeks, going right into 100 degrees next week. So it's going to feel like we're standing next to your typical forest fire out in California. Yeah. So, Glenn, Lord Daniel wants to know, during this heat wave that's going to start tomorrow, of course, the day I leave the freaking country and can't use my new pool.
That's why it's going to be nice now.
Exactly. So I'll go next, but what is your recommended ice cream to cool down?
I'm sorry, but I gotta go. Ben and Jerry's fish food ice cream. Gotta give them some props over there. For me, that's the best. Yeah.
We've said this on the show in the past. I'm a very basic bee. I don't need a lot of craziness. I don't need too much. I'm very happy. I'm very content.
Why are you hanging with us?
With the basics. So give me a nice, good, soft serve vanilla with sprinkles or Oreos. I'm a happy man.
All right. So here's the problem. Here's the problem with the soft serve, right? It's soon as it hits the hot, it melts so goddamn quick, and you're working so hard licking the shit, but over and over.
I can promise you don't eat ice cream.
It melts that you're not even having a chance to process it, and all it is calories and no fun and sticky hands. That frustrates.
Now when you have it in a cup, you're having it in a cone.
You're ruining that for everybody.
Right.
Yeah, but then you dip it in the chocolate. You got to dip it in the chocolate, the hard chocolate shell on there.
Exactly.
Or cookies and cream milkshake.
Triple D, I like that because that's a buffer. It protects the internal core. Yeah.
Right. Right.
That is a pro tip right there.
Yeah, that's right.
That's why you watch this show, people. That's giving you the information.
One shot of David.
Once out of every 180 shows, you get some valuable snack tips.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So Glenn, what are you going to be doing during the heat wave? Are you going to jump in the pool?
All right, so I haven't checked what the temperature of the pool is because I've been away. Our backyard is all not in great shape right now. It's like my studio in the basement.
You missed the chainsaw.
So what happened was we decided we need to power wash the patio. It's been a few years. It's not looking great. And we took all the furniture off, did that. This was over, 8-9 days ago. And this guy came to do all the power washing like just before I had to go to high tech, and the power washing job is so bad that it's like all the paving stones, it's like half is clean and then half is like really dirty, but maybe
look at David.
maybe he was doing some sort of modern art piece on there or something like that I don't quite understand, but it's in really bad shape.
Maybe he had too many Modelos before he started.
What was that?
Did you pay him?
Yeah, but actually the price that they quoted that we paid, we kind of got what we deserved on that one. But the funny thing is that they left their stuff here. They were going to come pick it up the next day. Then there was a massive storm. It's a week later, so I got myself the power washer. So we're just going to finish it ourselves.
Oh my God! First you're using a power chainsaw, and now you're supposed to be using power washer. I
know.
I don't see two other things that say disaster more than
yeah.
Oh my
Next
God!
thing you'll be calling the siding guy out. Yeah.
Supervise you, or is Helene going to be?
I don't know. Listen. I'm getting so confident. I might try going up a ladder at some point.
Wow!
With a ladder or a real ladder?
Confident. Finish the Studio B. Okay.
Well, now that the weather's nice, I can't. So
no, of course. Yeah.
Triple D. This is kind of like this is my white whale trying to get my studio in the basement finished for the last 2 years.
Okay. Yeah. I got a couple of those projects too. Yeah.
And all I need is like 2-3 hours of concentrated time. That's it. But yet here we are. Yeah.
I can't concentrate for more than 2 or 3 hours on anything. So
I have trouble concentrating for more than 15 minutes. Try yeah. Except
you see David and I nodding, okay?
Yeah.
Got to hear calls. They're all over the place.
Besides Dave going on his Bermuda cruise, you guys going anywhere this summer? Or?
I'll be heading out in the backyard
right.
the next month.
Outside of state lines. Outside of the state lines.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going anywhere. I just want to be home.
Well, you go everywhere anyway, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, I did. I just did find out that I'm going to be going back to New Orleans for the 3rd time this year.
Oh, nice.
But no, it's not. It's going to be purgatory. It's like you. It's kind of like the universe is like, you wanted to go for so long. Well, F you. We're gonna shove it down your throat, and now you're gonna go in August.
I was gonna say August is gonna be right.
Right.
Bring the bug repellent.
Yeah.
How many pounds of beignets are you going to eat this time?
I don't know, but I am looking forward to going back, quite frankly.
You're gonna have to eat enough beignets to work off the or to balance out the weight loss from being in New Orleans in freaking August. Because
that's kind of like the loophole right there, right? Sadly, I'm gonna lose like 20 pounds in water weight and just like put on.
All you got to do is go to Canal Street, go to Bourbon Street, drink drink frozen drinks from 9 a.m. to 12 midnight, and nothing bad will happen.
Nothing. Go drink hurricanes the whole time you're there.
Nothing ever bad happens on Bourbon Street.
Head to Vegas, and it'll be 3,000 degrees, and he'll sweat it all out, and then he'll go back to New York, and the humidity's gonna go.
Yeah, well,
He'll finish the studio.
I'm going to be Triple D. I'm doing the humidity tour in August. I'm going to be in Memphis as well, and Orlando in all there. I'm going to throw in a little Vegas in August as well, because you got to balance it out with a little dry heat.
Yeah.
But
I got you beat. I'm going to be in Vietnam in July. So if you want heat and humidity.
Wait, I'm going to guess you're doing that by choice.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, ICE is not shipping me off over there. No.
Is that a vacation or is that business?
Yeah, it's a family thing. We have a wedding to go over there.
Nice.
Wow, tell us about that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah. So
tell us about it.
Yeah,
Tell us about
But it is the, I think, second hottest month there.
All right, let me reset. Let me reset what we're trying to do here.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
We're going to reset the question. Triple D,
Hold on, behind the scenes radio trick here.
tell us about your trip. When are you going? More than just July. Where are you going within Vietnam? How long are you going for? What is your activities planned?
Vietnam.
Wow,
And are you manufacturing furniture?
What's that?
And are you manufacturing furniture?
Yeah, I have a part-time job when I go over there. Yeah, we're going in July 3rd, and we'll be back later in July. We're going to go for like 3 weeks, and we're going to be in Saigon, then Thailand, then up into northern Vietnam, and then we're probably going a little bit into the central area, and then back to Saigon. The wedding is in Saigon.
That is pretty cool. I was thinking of going to Connecticut and maybe
jumping in the sound.
It's kind of humid in Connecticut too.
Well, here's the thing, right?
It is in August.
I feel like there's a difference between having to do hot and humid even in New Orleans or Florida, because it's only 3 hours away. You know, you're going to do hot and humid. Going to do it in Vietnam, which is like a really exotic vacation, it makes it a lot more worth the awful time just stepping outside.
Yeah, no, it'll be a blast. Last time we were there, I think it was in September or October, and it did rain quite a bit. But
what's the one thing you're really looking forward to on this trip, other than the wedding part of it?
Probably the food is always awesome there.
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of spots I've never been to where we're going to be doing some like hiking. And I wish I could remember exactly where they are, but I'm just being.
That's all right. We wouldn't remember anyway.
So,
yeah, my I am very detailed knowledge of the ins and outs of Vietnam, so I would call you out very fast if you were wrong by even.
Yeah, sadly, everything I learned about. Full Metal Jacket.
Food is incredible. Come on, tell me about the food.
Oh, it's tremendous. I mean, so much of it's so fresh. You know, a lot of flavors. Like, I don't know if you guys eat fish sauce.
Yes, no, we love Asian flavors here. We have fish sauce here.
So,
we do that.
And the great thing about the Vietnamese food is there's a lot of French inspiration,
right,
in a lot of their dishes.
Wow, colonialism just keeps coming up.
Right, I was going to say, not for great reasons. Not for great reasons, but
no. But I will say, there's a bright side to everything, and I think a great banh mi is.
Exactly.
I don't know. He's not on there anymore.
Craig went to go get a banh mi
or something like that.
Did Craig get the access?
What happened there?
Did Craig get his own access to take himself in and out?
I don't know.
Oh, wow, Craig.
I was
Did you leave the password?
Thank you.
I didn't drop you off. How'd you get off?
Glenn did it.
No.
Glenn touched a button and everything.
Hey, to be honest, I did it. I hacked into your.
Wow. Well, we better be careful then. Well, welcome back, Craig. We're glad.
Sorry about that, Craig. I was actually trying to get Glenn off, but I got you off instead. Sorry about that.
Don't worry, Chips. I got you, pal. See, it's not that hard.
There you go. Yeah.
Just ask and you shall receive. I am the giver of goods. I made sure my guest.
Don't let him back in. Keep him out. Keep him out.
He's not even there anymore. He stepped away from the screen.
We missed Glenn.
The second he got dropped off, he just was like, you know what? I'm done with the show. I'm going to go have some food.
He's done.
Wait,
there he is. There he is.
He did say he was kind of cranky earlier.
Yeah. I definitely was, but hanging out with you, Triple D, it's been
grumpy
I'm grabbing the crab. So the one thing that you don't know is I got fucked by the storm with the elevator and stuff like that, right? And then Stormy McStorm is like, I ain't done with you. I'm gonna screw with you again. I was flying to JFK, Triple D, because I had to share cars, and it's a way to get the air train. I usually go to LaGuardia, but I didn't have a car. The LaGuardia flight at 12:23 They went great, happy for them. My flight boarding at 12:28 got delayed because of the same effing storm was now coming through New York. So I got stuck for 3 hours because of the goddamn storm. And I had to burn one of my passes for the Sky Lounge because now they limit you. And then
you used it instead of just sitting out there on those 1960s design chairs.
all right, so listen. I want to give props to this freaking airport. Oh,
This is the storm that you're referring to.
Oh, I thought that was a live view from your cruise
This was
ship.
Manhattan yesterday.
No. Wow. Craig, does that look familiar? I mean, that's
wow.
weird.
Oh,
All right, so this is why I did not get. This is why I was delayed. So I do want to thank the guys at the guys and gals at the Sky Lounge for keeping me well fed and drank. So I go into Indianapolis Airport, Triple D, and I'm like, I see these signs talking about how they're the best freaking airport in the country. Says, sir, this, that, and the other thing, and I'm like, whatever. But start walking around. I'm starting to groove this place, and I may have gone to the rooftop of the parking garage, right, just to take a look around, not finish anything before getting on a flight or anything like that. So looking around, and they have this thing here. It says, you need an umbrella? We've got you covered. Just take an umbrella and bring it back on your next visit. All right, I'll try to show this again. How freaking amazing is it?
It's
awesome.
a great airport. It really is.
Right? So I'm like, this is insane. And then I go downstairs and it's like, hey, thirsty? Enjoy a free bottle of water on us.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
I love that airport. I wish LAX was out. I really do.
Lessons to be learned.
When they're charging normally in an airport $3, $4, $5, $6 for a bottle of water, to be giving that away.
Yeah.
7, 8, 9.
But you guys are talking about airports. I get you guys travel a lot, but a lot of the airports you're going to, listen, I'm sure Indianapolis is lovely. Really do. But
it was. I got to say, the props to the parking garage, beautifully done. It was like they had the embassy suites atrium in the middle. And it was freaking beautiful. Yeah. Sorry, Dave.
I was gonna say, I feel like there's a expense issue here when it comes to New York, SoCal, some of these other major tier, O'Hare.
Yeah, Dave. As soon as I got to New York and I went to get my bags, they were saying it said Sky Cab service, $8 per bag, 2-bag minimum.
It's just more expensive to even have to land there. Plus, all those freaking airports out here doing the billion-dollar renovations. Like, there's no chance that
JFK's renovation is $19 billion, and that's before overruns.
Is that taxpayer funded?
It's a public-private partnership thing. A lot of the airlines and stuff are putting up big.
Going to end up taking the shorts on all that. Has anybody flown into San Jose or San Francisco lately?
I flew into San Francisco in January.
Both those airports are absolutely beautiful. San Jose, they really rebuilt basically from the ground up. It was all brick. It was horrible. It was a dank, worst experience, hillbilly type airport. And then the tech bros all got together and said, hey, we can't have our private jets here, so let's redo this. And that airport's beautiful, and it's easy to get in and out of, easy to get to car rentals. San Francisco is as well. They added a hotel to the San Francisco airport. Well,
guys,
LAX.
People look at the audio. 10 worst airports is what Dave just brought up there.
So it's time for a little game. According to Frommers, this is the 10 worst airports in the good old US of A.
Look at hotels there, though.
Before I scroll down and read off the list of the top 10, what do you guys think is number one? We're not going to go the whole list.
When was the survey done?
If it was done, it used to be LaGuardia. That was easy.
Newark.
This was posted in May 1st, 2025, and updated May 12th. So we're talking just a month old.
Yeah.
Newark.
So LAX for Craig. Glenn.
Other than LAX and Newark, I can't really think of every airport I go to now seems to be being rebuilt or recently rebuilt.
To be fair, Terminal A in Newark is spectacular. Trips, who you got?
Well, I said Newark, but since let's go San Diego.
All right, let's see the top
Oh,
10. Guys.
built as well. So San Diego's doing
Denver there.
All right, number 10, Denver.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Problems, long lines, TSA lines, ground transit
It's
congestion,
out
eternal
in the middle of
construction.
nowhere, and their baggage claim system.
Yeah.
I'm also going to throw
so
my number one as
far.
Hartsfield, by the way.
But the thing is, every time you go there-
SFO.
That's that.
oh,
Craig.
well,
I've
37%
always enjoyed
planes
flying.
ran behind schedule.
It's a schedule and delay cancellation issue. Number 8, Reagan.
Okay. Yeah.
Problems, safety concerns. You think?
I used to fly out of there on the Eastern Shuttle when I was in college there, like 1988, 89. Yeah.
But
Dave
Number
doesn't know what
7.
Eastern is, Glenn.
Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, international, roadway congestion, long TSA.
Whatever.
Oh, I think, Orlando's got to be number 1. Orlando MCO's got to be number 1.
Oh, if we're going this way, then yeah.
Number 8, JFK.
Nice.
Long waits for security and past. Yeah. So I had a situation like a week and a half ago when I came back from my last New Orleans trip where the air train was down. It took me an hour to get off the tarmac. It took 45 minutes to get my luggage. This whole thing, and I meet this dude. on the second bus we've been on after like 3 hours of this shit, and he's like, I waited. He had to wait 2 hours at immigration to get into the country, and then had all of this. I'm like, welcome to America, you know? I'm like,
Well, look what it says here. A 2024 ranking names JFK one of the most luxurious airports in the U.S. and 11th in the world, based on criteria such as number of lounges, number of stories citing luxury brands, and on-site availability of champagne and caviar. If those are the sort of things you look for in an airport,
that's the thing that all of us I know look for in an airport.
if those are the things you look for in an airport, you'll consider JFK a real treat. If, on the other hand, you prefer an airport to operate, efficiently, you're liable to have a less enjoyable time at this facility.
I want to see Glenn walk into a terminal, drop his bags, throw up his arms, and go, "Where is my fucking champagne and caviar?"
If I ever get a one upgrade again in my life, I'll do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in Indianapolis,
billion
right next to the umbrellas.
All right, number 5, Chicago Midway.
Oh,
O'Hare's got to be up there too, I would think, right? They're the freaking worst.
yeah.
Flight delays, cancellation, cramped facilities, and limited amenities. Number 5 for Midway. Number 4, Philly. I like Philly.
Yeah, I like Philly.
I've never flown out of there, but it's old. I think that needs to be kind of redone.
It is very old. Oh, you go outdated terminals right there for you, Glenn.
Yeah.
Number 3, MCO.
Yeah, there's our baby.
There we go.
Poor customer service, overcrowding, mishandled baggage, long waits, and a lack.
They really need
Too many kids.
They really need a whole other situation going on, because that terminal that I go out all of the time is that Triple D, that kids thing is bad. They need what Craig has said before, lines for you got like at Disney, like you got to have a line for the ones with the strollers. You got to have the family line, the person with only a backpack line, and all of that kind of stuff.
But Glenn,
63% higher rate.
That's BD.
Lost and damaged luggage with a mishandling rate of 63%. So imagine you fly into MCO with your whole family for a week-long Disney vacation or Epic Universe, and they lose all your stuff.
Oh, or at least 2/3 of it.
2/3 of it. Number 2.
Why do I only have
Miami.
6 pairs of underwear instead of 9?
Miami International Airport is number 2.
I just don't like that airport. I haven't been there in a while. It just again, it's one of those.
It's improved.
It just feels old and of the era. They need to start over again. I think. Is Atlanta going to be number 1?
I want to come back to this for a second, because anytime I think of Miami, I think of this picture that I have on my phone. Now, this is not my photo, but it's of the same exact thing.
He thinks of Miami Vice.
I found this in Miami. I showed my wife. I have a picture on my phone from 2010. I remember the exact date I took it. It was
That is hilarious.
That used to be the on-site prison they had over there. All right, Dave. Number 1 is LAX, right?
We're gonna find out right now. Can I get a drum roll? Number 1.
I got this.
Newark.
Newark. Yeah.
Hey.
Yes.
That list? Bullshit. It's a bogus list.
LAX is not even on the list. All right, so let's look at the Newark. Let's look at the Newark challenges. All right, I know Newark International Airport pretty well for living here for the last 15 years, and I live 20 minutes away. So let's see. Inadequate transit / road access. I don't agree with that one. I've never had a problem getting into that airport, not once. Overcrowding.
Arnie wins. That's all I can say.
Overcrowding. Terminal A, I've never waited. No joke. I've never waited more than 10 minutes in the security line at Terminal A. Usually less. Long security waits. Again, I've never waited. And I'll tell you another story. I flew Delta once at a Terminal B. This is no joke. It was middle of the day, 2:00 on a random Tuesday. There was nobody in the security line. I went from the freaking door, walked right to the front of TSA. Understaffing. I don't agree with that one.
So who did the survey? Let's.
I don't know.
Hey, there's understaffing in the control towers at every fucking airport in this nation right now. So,
but how do you say outdated facility? So Terminal A is gorgeous, just built from the ground up. Terminal C had the huge renovation not too long ago. It's beautiful in there. Terminal B, garbage. Agreed. But they're doing that one. So I don't know if I agree with the list. And yes, Craig, there's no LAX.
I am shocked. I mean, I've pitched 3 different shows to Glenn, including one on how horrible LAX is, for us to do. And
I don't know. I will say, let's. Michael, it was just talking about Atlanta. The TSA lines are horrific.
Way worse than Newark.
Horrific.
Not a lot of fun either.
I got to go from Memphis to Vegas. It looks like. I mean, I could come home for like a half an hour, but I'm gonna, instead of going from one to the other, I'm gonna go from wait, take that back, from New Orleans to Vegas. So there was a 49-minute in between connecting flights, and I'm like, I feel uncomfortable with that. So I took a little later of a flight because I don't need to get to Vegas at a specific time that had an hour and a half. I'm like, I could take my time. I could stroll. I don't have to feel pressure. And if there's a little bit of a delay, I won't be stressed out. The last 2 flights I've been on, it's like these poor people are trying to get to JFK for international connections. And yesterday, these people were trying to get to Stockholm to get to a wedding for a family member. And they were stuck for 2 days because of that storm that screwed them. I was in the elevator and then screwed them the next day too. Yeah.
Not good.
The one thing I don't like about McCarran, or whatever the hell it's called now, I don't even know, in Vegas is the air tran from when you get there to actually get to the terminal, which I know is not like generally uncommon, but I haven't dealt with that in pretty much any other airport. I can't stand that.
I'm using the air train all the time now. At JFK, I'm finding it really good. Although the Universal, the JFK one, lately they just like want me to miss my train by 2 minutes every time. I think I've got like 3 of them in a row.
They love you.
Hey, you guys ever been to the Seoul airport in Seoul, Korea?
I just went through there as a transfer once.
Okay. Did you spend any time in there?
No, not really.
Yeah.
No. Tell us about it.
That's a tremendous airport.
Seems like
what makes it so cool?
Airports are substantially better than ours, other than possibly Heathrow.
Yeah, Amsterdam used to be great, but I feel like they probably need to like update that a little bit more.
Yeah.
It would be nice if they added some lounges there. Yeah, that'd be great.
A little Van Hagar.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, Dave.
We're almost there. But I'm trying to find one last thing before we get to that point, but I don't think it's going to work out for me, unfortunately. So we're just going to go right there because I couldn't get it to figure out in time. So, guys, it is time for the best part of the show. Not flying through JFK, Newark, or LAX. It's time for the
All right, Triple D, what's your big plug? Be shameless about it, whatever you want.
Ooh, me first, huh?
Yep.
Well, I'm a little bit in a transitionary stage career-wise, so somebody check out my LinkedIn profile.
So we don't have to wish you well with the surgery then. All right.
Yeah, exactly. That transition. That's already happened. But I am going to be doing I am heavily involved with CHOC, the Children's Hospital of Orange County, and we got the CHOC Walk coming up on August 3rd.
And a new CHOC hospital is just open.
Oh,
Yeah.
awesome.
I actually have nothing to plug today. Other than I was going on a cruise tomorrow, but I have a question for you, Trips. Would you prefer to fly nonstop from Newark, which is just rated the #1 worst airport in the country, which I don't agree with, to LAX, which is the #1 worst airport in the country if you ask Craig Sullivan? Or would you rather take a 45 stop layover trip just to fly into John Wayne?
A 45-minute layover?
No, 45 different layovers.
Oh,
You need to have 45 different.
I think I'm going to go with choice A. I think I'll go with
I avoid LAX like the freaking plague.
And then I'll call Craig to come pick me up at LAX.
But listen,
You can do it now. You can
It's
ask
gonna be-
that because I gave him money to cover the Uber because I will not come to LAX.
yeah, I didn't even right. Like, thank you, Craig, because he had to meet with with his banker before he was able to write that check. It was so freaking expensive. Oh, and speaking of that, anti-plug. There is one car Lyft Uber service that charges a lot more than the other. So Delta is now partnering with Uber, right? And you get more miles with them. But I've been looking at both, and Uber is more expensive every single time now because of this partnership. They know because I registered for it. I bet I'm getting more expensive prices because they think I'm addicted to it. So I got my car to the airport yesterday. I guess this is my plug now for Lyft. My car to the airport yesterday was $15 cheaper because I didn't go for the irrelevant amount of miles that I would have gotten anyway for it.
With that also said,
Here.
Uber fans out there, if you pre-book your trip with Uber, it's generally like 25, 30% more expensive than just waiting to do it if you at the time you want to go. And I guess in our area, Glenn,
Yeah.
even if it's 4 a.m, 3 a.m, you're probably going to find someone available to take you at that time.
Yeah.
They'll be just coming out of the bar. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Craig, what about you? You got any plugs today?
Yes. Matter of fact, great time at California Adventure, other than the lines getting in with my grandson. But yeah, we've got I've got Rachel Humphreys coming on to do a very special show with some of her speakers from the Hotel Alliance executives, the Women's Alliance. So really looking forward to that. I've got Ethan Penner coming on. He is one of the people or the person that created the framework for CMBS lending, and he is running for governor for the state of California. So we're looking forward to having a very, very good discussion on where he stands on a lot of different issues. And then, you never know where I'm going to show up right now. We're launching a new show. We are touring some hotels and bringing back our travel log. We'll haven't worked out the name yet, but stay tuned.
Wow. That's good stuff. Hey, I'll spare you all. No plugs for me. I'm going to be hanging out in my backyard for a month and working half days.
Pressure washer.
Yeah, working half days for the next month, only from 6 a.m. to 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
Guys, just pray. We have a show
President of the hospital.
because Glenn's got power tools. He's got power washers. We want to make sure he comes back with all of his fingers, all of his toes, all of his limbs.
Live from Stony Brook Hospital.
Moneymaker, Dave. He can't lose his face.
Yeah,
Listen,
don't mess
Glenn,
up the moneymaker.
Glenn, please don't let me come back next week and you're like half a body missing. Okay.
Yeah. All right. I do want to do a shout out to Ashley Johnson. I'll be doing a Hospitality Hued in New Orleans, August 5th, 6th, 7th. You want to check that out. Really, it's really great to help lift up our community, and a lot of good things will come out of all of that. All right, so everybody, thanks so much. Greg, we got a show next week, right?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Do we?
I don't know.
Do we?
We did a show next week. It's going to be coming live.
What?
Oh, no. I'm
Oh,
gonna tell you
yes,
this right
we
now.
do. You know who we have next week?
Mm-mm.
No.
The one, the only, Matt Hostetler.
Oh, Glenn.
Dave, you can be back in time?
I should be back in time. Remember, this is the show. We're going to
We'll
do
see. I know. Maybe next week's going to be our pool show.
I was trying to surprise everybody.
Glenn, stop playing with.
I was going to tee up a surprise. We're going to come from a very special 2 locations, but I'm thinking Matt might be able to join us in that special location too. So,
all right.
Nice.
All right. So we'll all
Glenn.
meet at the
Hey,
was it the
you
Maple
guys
Grove
can all come out
buffet
here on
in
G4.
Lancaster, Pennsylvania. What?
You guys can all come out here on GeForce One, and you can play in my pool, Pacific Ocean. Okay.
All right. Well, we'll do it. All right, everybody. See you. See you next. Thanks to the Triple D. Up. See you later.